Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's a live studio. I was having a chat with one of my guests talking about the other topic. We'll talk about security situation of the country, a local government forming security outfit. Before we go into that, I really like this vibrant youth and of course a political analyst and entrepreneur, Theodore Erabo. Yeah, youth leader of PDP, to just say one or two things about the refusal of Mr. President to appear before the House of Representatives, and with the recent abduction of over 300 students in Katsina. Do you see the House of Rep also calling Mr. President to give an answer to what is happening? We'll talk about security.
Good morning, viewers at home. I think it's rather unfortunate that the President now takes Nigeria as a joke. I know you want to always interject me, but please, I want to let me air my mind. Because
it's Nigeria as a joke.
Yes, no, if it's a country, if it's actually a country where institutions are respected, President is not the father of the nation. The way there is executive, there is legislature, and there is judiciary. Because we have failed to build strong institutions, you now plead with the President to honor your invitation. In the same environment, if the President doesn't honor it with these burning security issues across the nation, he should be served impeachment notice. That is how it's done. There's nothing about politics. And again, our representatives are now rubber stamp in the sense that they will, when they were being sworn into office, their oath was to defend the Constitution and Nigeria. I'm not allegiant to any political party. You will invite the President, you will see the ruling party telling you the President should not come. You have forgotten that your allegiance should be to the citizens of the nation and not to your political party. It is a wrong precedent and we must discourage it. And in no time, I also want our citizens to take their destiny in their hand. Any representative saying playing politics with our security, playing politics with our economy, we should start a recall process on them. Because it's very funny, they are killing our brothers, they are killing our sisters, they are raping our mothers in the bush. Our farmers are not going to farm, and we invite the President to address security situation, and you will see people playing politics with it. APC will not come to sitting because the President is coming. The security chief that have long failed Nigeria, you are repeating the same thing and you are expecting a different result. We advise him not to come. It's really a joke. Just imagine a president coming to his own state and kidnapping happened there. Do you know what it takes to move over 400 persons? You need a lot of vehicles, you need a lot of logistics, and these people where were the security chiefs? Knowing that, okay, at least the President is going to that state, security eye will be on that place. And this thing happened under their nose. And you will hear that the President will say, I'm in shock about, is there a shock as over of the nation? He's always in shock over everything that is happening, as if he's not aware of anything that is happening in the country. The next thing you see on paper today that I'm in shock about the adoption of the people in my state. That is not how a country is. If you are not serious about governance, we advise you resign. Since the legislative arm cannot do anything, you on your own take responsibility.
Right.
You have service chief, call them to order. Since every time you see they will call another security meeting, they will discuss at the end of the day, don't worry, we'll do something about it, and nothing is being done.
All right. And now you're talking about APC refusing to attend the sitting. We're not really clear of the people of the party that didn't attend, but many people didn't attend. It wasn't say that it was only APC that didn't come for that sitting. Just to correct that notion, because
it was APC because
the member of the APC was not there in the house.
That's the head of the house.
Yeah, do not generalize.
We are talking about the members. You see,
right.
PDP caucus in the house, they came out to tell the President, please come over. Did you hear any APC caucus giving some press release?
Okay.
Yesterday, our publicity secretary also lended his voice to this call.
Okay.
So that means it has become a partisan thing.
Lurid as the state of affairs is, regardless of the amount of emotions they may have invoked, we would need to look at issues from what is the standpoint of law. And the security chief, as far as I'm concerned, because they have overstayed on the basis of the rules of engagement, they should go. I think I would be unfair to say a particular man had not delivered when I do not have all of the facts. No matter how strong a police force is, for example, in terms of number, if a policeman has 5 rounds of ammunition that he ought not to be providing for himself, how does he confront, except he's going on a suicide mission, bandits or criminals who have whatever? It explains why the buck stops on the table of the one who should have provided. Mr. President and not the service chief has the responsibility. So if the service chief, in our opinion, have not delivered, we have no business with the service chief. We have business with the person who is engaging them. We are aware, some of us have interacted with some of those persons who are in the field of operation. They have obsolete equipment, they have challenges. These fellows are better. I mean, if you have somebody who has a gun that could fire 600 meters, you are going to confront the person with yours that will travel 100 meters. The fellow will just stay 400 meters away from you, and when he hits you, it will seem like a train ran over you. So these basically are the issues. Mr. President has a responsibility. We don't dispute that. He has a responsibility to secure us. Where Mr. President has failed, if he had honor, Mr. President will say, oh, I have failed, I'm going to resign. But if Mr. President does not have honor, those we have elected, assuming we elected them, do we even have the capacity? Because in the very first place, who got nominated by who? The party. Whether we are going to admit it yet or not, we know the processes by which somebody tells you, I am going to get that party ticket. And he gets it not because he was the best of candidates, but because he was the one. It's just like in a meeting of shareholders. If you are a Lilliputian in terms of size, and another person is taller than Mountain Everest, and you, the Lilliputian, the Mountain Everest has 1,000 shares. The Lilliputian that you will need magnifying lens to see has 1,000,000 shares. When he raises up his hand 1 trillion times, nobody sees you, the Everest. It's that hand that, even when the hand is not up, it's been asked, did you raise your hand? Until he says, no, I did not. They will not be thinking whether you exist. So these are the challenges. We need to, rather than farm out of tomato, come back and say, what do we do? What have we not done right? Institution becomes strong, not because Mr. President wants to build them strong. Institution becomes strong on the basis of the people. Do we have that base today? Who is not for sale? Just tell me. We could pontificate on issues, but once including those who said we are opposition, once you tell the person you will become the chairman of NNPC, like I did say, why, for example, are we buying fuel at the rate at which we are buying fuel? Why are our refinery is not working? Why should I become interested whether you are going to build rail to Niger Republic and bring fuel to us, and I'm not concerned about why our refinery is not working? Why should I be interested in the subsidization of fuel, thus providing job for people? Why would I not be interested in that which precipitates a backward and forward linkage of the economy in such a way that we get saturated with the good things so much so that nobody thinks about crime? Okay. These are the basic things, and people have not addressed them. So buy all the guns in the world. The average armed robber today, the average bandit, these are persons who have looked at themselves and said, I have absolutely nothing to lose. And no man is as dangerous. I'll give you an example. The area where I stay, somebody was picked up because they had come into my neighbor's house, violated him in the early hours of the morning. He was beaten to pulp, they cut him and all that, shot several into the wall. The fellows were picked, taken to the police station. The police said, oh, this fellow had been battered, go and treat. They took him away, and apparently the fellow they handed him over to was tipsy. And the fellow was allowed to go. In a matter of days, that same fellow was picked in the same environment, doing the same thing. Where was he going to escape to? Nowhere. If you release him tomorrow, he's returning. Do not forget, after the prison break, the White House, whatever you call it, was broken. That could be accidental. That Oko broke showed that those who should have been on ground in terms of providing governance were not on ground.
All right.
And those persons who freed themselves have not seen what was correctional about the correctional whatever facility. They went back to crime.
Okay. All right. Now this will bring us to the next topic about civil security situation of the country. Well, a local government forming their own, vigilante, forming their own security outfits to safeguard lives and property. You get to hear from local government in Edo State, yes, trying to form their own kind of security outfit. But someone is saying, no, they are not doing that. It's all about individual theaters. I wanted to come into this. Let's leave the House of Rep issue right now, because let's see what will happen. There'll be another call for Mr. President to appear. After all, according to them, there is no formal letter saying that Mr. President is not going to appear sooner or later. What do you have to say about this formation of vigilantes, security outfit by the local government in various states of the Federation?
Oh, please, I just quickly want to address this.
Yes.
I think it's gross irresponsibility for you to be invited by the legislature, and that's the time you decided to travel to your village. That shows that you don't give regards to them at all. That is the truth. And secondly, my brother also said something about the police are not equipped. We remember last year, the president took $1 billion to equip, to fight bandits. That's almost 1 billion every day. What sorts of drones? No, listen to me. That's what we are saying. We should point accusation out to you. No, you listen to me. No, it's not the police that we should be talking about. We, the citizens, have become very docile. How can somebody take 1 billion naira out of our coffins and nobody is saying anything? Do you expect a policeman to challenge his IG? It's not possible. But we, the citizens, we have the responsibility. We have the responsibility to ask the president, where is our money that you took?
We can go to
but we are just here complaining that they are killing us. But we are not doing our own part. Be that as it may, let me come back to our local security. The truth of the matter is that if any local government chairman is telling you that he's the one forming local vigilante, he's telling himself a lie. That is the truth. People have decided security business is everybody's business. The way and manner that security is being handled in Nigeria, that is the reason why we are having problem. How do you post an Hausa man to my village in Uromi that does not know the terrain to protect me and Uromi man? The simple answer is that there is no way he's going to succeed. We must first of all restructure the way our security arrangement is being made up. We should encourage state policing. The people that are of high, that have grown to be a DPO in the police force should be posted to their own domain where they grew up. In my place, I know families where I know, okay, these people, now they thief goats. These people, now they thief fowl. If something happens, you know the place to go to. Not bringing a stranger, by the time he's getting acclimatized to the environment, this same fellow is being posted to another location as if there is something that we are doing with the posting. The posting is to ensure that lives and property are being protected. Let domestic our security arrangement, not the one that you bring a foreigner to come and tackle security. That is why the vigilante group has become effective. Just last week here, a few days ago, I organized a security meeting in my local government. The DPO of police was there, the DSS, the head of DSS, the civil defense, and vigilante group. We discussed at length. We found out that first, go to almost all the local government. You see that common patrol vehicle for the police is not even available. How do you expect a policeman to combat crime when he can, even if you call him now at least 500 meters away that they are robbing, he doesn't even have a means to go there? That is the first problem. Even the vigilante group who encourages, are they under any payroll? Apart from this new security arrangement that our governor is setting up, this local policing, I just employed over 7,000 people, and also the power of arrangement, which is to gather local intelligence among our place, so that we have people that are not police, but people that can give you information, because without information, no security operative can actually operate.
Okay.
That is why we must at least commend the governor for what he's doing at the moment, but that is not enough.
Okay.
I think we need to encourage our vigilante group more.
I'll come back to
and
you.
See how
I'll come back to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, for what he said, it's the formation of vigilante group security outfit is like an individual thing right now. But do you think that if the local government chairman choose to get involved in this, the grassroots will be secured? And if the grassroots is secured, it will reflect in a whole security formation when we talk about state and, of course, to a larger extent, the nation. Malam.
I agree absolutely. Local government chairmen to get security votes. State governors get security votes. Omugo's sum of money, which is never open to ICPC or EFCC, but the bulk of it is usually pocketed, and that's the basis of whatever. Where the policeman comes from is basically immaterial. Amel Yahiri was CP in Plateau, and he sent the robbers on exile. He became military administrator in Taraba. The robbers went on vacation. He became military administrator in Oyo. Oyo, in his time, organized an election where there was no Operation Weti. He's an Edo man. They were the ones who were brought to come in here and liquidate an enemy, when an enemy was terrorizing the entire Bende.
Not an enemy, please.
Yeah. Now, to liquidate that particular individual, he still lives. Ask those of them in government who consults him as it relates to security issue. We have those who matter. When he says we are recruiting people, we ask, the people you say you have recruited, if it's about patronage, what competence do they have? These are the challenge. An average DPO comes, I agree with him absolutely. He comes to a local government, he comes to a station. As he's getting settled, maybe he's not satisfying somebody upstairs, he's pushed away, he's transferred out of that place. Just before he's beginning to know the terrain, and the people are getting used to him and having confidence that we can take information to this person and nobody knocks our door at the dead of the night. Because the man takes charge. You call him 1 a.m., 2 a.m., he answers you. 2 weeks later, you call and say, I'm sorry, I'm not the DP of that place anymore, I have been moved. So you find that the frequency at which this is done is a serious problem. If state governors would use their security vote for the good of the people, not to buy mansions in Dubai and elsewhere, for the good of the people, our people can go. A greater security threat is looming. People can't go to farm anymore. There is no threat that is as evil in wars. Awolowo of blessed memory said, oh God, when you are mindful to go to the southeast, the war will not end. The moment there was an embargo of food into the southeast, the war came to a natural end. Once you have food crisis, we are doomed. In the north, people can't go to farm anymore. And so we need the local vigilante, and we have repeatedly told people, let at least, yes, security is state responsibility, but everybody should be involved. If it becomes too much for the state to fund, we are saying, let there be an enabling law, for example. Like he said, the beautiful things they are doing, he doesn't have any law backing him. He's taking all of the risk. Let us have a law that says, yes, you could form a local vigilante in your area. How do we fund it? Every landlord there must contribute something. I stay in an area where we have over 300 houses. Less than 50, 60 houses pay. What we have done to entreat some people to pay is that we have tied it to the issue of light, because there is relative stability of light. We just bring NEPA man or a pole, we climb and bring down the wire.
No, that's illegal.
What is illegal? We told you how to do that. Oh, fine. If you are dark, that's why you will not pay for security. So let darkness envelope you. So these are the issues that, until and unless we.
NEPA just took the light.
The NBC is protesting.
Sincere apologies for that breaking transmission. It was occasioned by power cut. Well, we are still taking a look at the state of the nation, security situation, and security outfits by local government areas. That is what we're talking about. And my guests have been sharing their views and opinions, even drawing from life experience on how they really view this particular situation. Give an example of a community where you have to do one or two things to make them involved in providing security for themselves. Now, Thaddeus, some local government boss are like saying that money isn't given to them. The money they have in their coffers is not even enough to pay salaries of teachers, primary school teachers. Talk less, family security outfit. Are you going to blame them for that?
Who is giving them the money? Is it the governor, or they get their direct allocation from the federal? So people shouldn't tell us what we don't want to hear. There is a law that money now moves from federal straight to local government. And the primary responsibility of a local government chairman is to protect life and security. That's your first primary responsibility.
But some are saying that the money doesn't get to them directly. That's what I say. They will not come out openly to say it.
Okay, why are you not saying it openly? You are saying it. Just, if it's true, come out and say it. Because to us, money is being disbursed, and you are getting the money, and you are failed in your primary responsibility to provide, to protect life and property in your locality. No matter what, little encouragement will go a long way. These people, they are not even the vigilante group. They are not asking for you to put them on the payroll of local government, but provide fuel for them to go around, buy bullets for them to confront these people that have caused problem to our loved ones. This is all they are asking for. They are not telling us, put us on your payroll. Just provide the enabling environment for us to operate. That is all they are saying. There is nothing, they are not even saying that at the moment. These people have come out on their own, voluntarily, to risk their life for every one of us. All we need to do is to encourage them.
If they come out to risk their life, are they not worth being paid?
They are worth being paid. That's why even individuals like us should also encourage them, like what some of us are doing. Encourage these people so that at the end of the day, our environment will be safe for all of us. What they are doing before now, they used to hang around our bushes. To any person that is coming to the bush, they will kidnap them, they will rape them. But right now, they come into town. They do what they want to do, pick any person they want to, and they take him back to the bush. And this is how it started in the north. Before you know, they will write letter to us that we are coming to town today. This is what we want. And they will come and nothing will happen. Because right now, people have lost confidence in the police. And the only people that we can even say, the vigilante group, we are not encouraging them. The police, they are short of men. How many policemen are in, for example, in my local government that can actually protect that local government?
But he's saying that
we are saying we have unemployment. We have ministers saying that he bought he bought pen for 112 million a year. And we are saying we don't have money. This is the same country that is in recession. Money is being spent carelessly. Money is being borrowed every day to build railway to Niger, which is not even. I mean, please.
No. These are say what your emotion. Now, that is just on the side. Ministry of Petroleum, right? Papers carry they spend 116 million for stationaries. I mean, anyway.
Please, let this person. No stationary. They said pen. Why are you not turning to stationary? To do what? That would be all Nigeria.
That'll be a talk for another day. Okay, that'll be a talk for another day.
Is it not security too?
This is why there is no security. If I'm hungry, I must survive.
Resources that have gone into creating clover for people. It creates security challenges.
Okay.
These are issues. That minister is not above the House. The House under section 88, 89 of the Constitution could summon him. Where he refuses, they issue a bench warrant.
Okay. Now let's take a look at these headlines. Insurgency, banditry, COVID-19, famine looms. Borno, Katsina, Sokoto, Niger, Gombe, Plateau farmers want insecurity in the country. Now, this is what they are warning, that if they should continue, we're talking about the local government right now, Nigeria should get ready for famine. There'll be hunger, according to them, in the land. So,
if you take the
yeah.
case of Borno, for example,
Yeah.
I think the governor there, a fine gentleman, a man who is in office to serve, not to peculate resources, is working around the clock to ensure that that does not happen. Because he goes to the theater of the war, he sleeps with the people. Attempts have been made on his life. They are not made believe. He's not bothered. It's either that I succeed or I die in the process of doing it, because he knows that, yes, even if he were to die, he lives in the immortality. His predecessor in office said, this is a tested man. I made him to be the commissioner for rebuilding, whatever. He said for 100 and something days, he slept in the trenches with the people rebuilding. And yet when he came, he didn't own a house of his own. And so when he was looking for who would succeed him, he said, this man should be, they said, but you can't control him because he's independently minded. They say, I'm not looking for who to control. I won't be ex-governor and whatever governor. So he just did that. If everybody does what he is doing, what the people need is not that, oh, the one who has died will come. Someone who genuinely cares, not on the pages of newspaper, on the TV to say, we regret this. This is a cowardly act. The coward keeps doing the cowardly act. And you know, the people don't feel you. Somebody wants you to say whatever. When those persons see the governor, he sits with them. He's not pretending about it. He does all of that. It will mean that he's genuinely concerned about how that does not happen. But in the event that that is not addressed by all the other 35 state governors, starvation tears us. And when that happens, all of the crises they have seen before in Philippines, Marcos and his men save Marcos. Of course.
All right, you just hold on. I want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Looming famine. And people have been talking about it. Will hunger strike or will take care of security apparatus even right now? Do stay tuned. All right, we're about commencing our descent on today's edition of This Morning on ITV, and we're taking a look at the security situation of the country, formation of a security outfit by local government areas. People have been talking about it, but some are asking, where is the fund going to come from? After all, they are not independent, so to speak, and the money to run a security outfit is not really available to them. But most of them wouldn't come out openly to talk about this. My analysts here in the studio, they are sharing their minds, their thoughts and their opinions on this. If you were to be a local government chairman, putting it right now on the spot, with the situation on the ground, what do you think you would have done differently?
I think I'll start by declaring state of emergency on security, making it the priority, because upon security, every development is anchored on security. If you have security, there will be supply of food. People can go into agriculture to farm without fear of being harassed in the bush. With security, your economy will grow, because when those food that is coming into the bush is coming into your market, you will have opportunity to tax people from their shop where they are selling. The people that are farmed, they will have opportunity to sell their product in the market. Secondly, without security, there is no school cannot even function when life and property is not being protected. You would rather, during the protest, people have to record their children from school. I remember my brother already dropped his son in school. When I called him that this protest, this NSAS protest is really hot, he ran back to school to go and pick his child back to the house. That shows that without security, nothing will ever happen. That is why I'm really worried that the president could borrow money to build rail, and he borrowed money before anyways for security, which he didn't expend on security. So we need to first of all make security our priority. Upon security, that is the bedrock for every other thing to grow, and that is the primary responsibility of any responsible government, to protect life and property. That is the first thing before every other thing falls into place.
All right, thank you so much, Theodore. I really appreciate your wonderful analysis. Malam, what do you have to say as a closer to this discussion?
Well, I think from at the different tiers, local government, state, and federal, there is the need for them to call a security meeting. Not for everybody to attend. Local government knows who the stakeholders are. Call them to a meeting. The state governor should know who the stakeholders are. Call them to a meeting. Not necessarily those who are service chief, who are heads of police and stuff like that. Call them to a meeting. We must have people too who would help to watch. Because you see, let me tell you, let's be frank. There are police officers, there are commissioners of police that came to some states. They left poorer than they were. There are some commissioners of police who are interested in some states because they say when you go there, you don't need to work in World Bank. And so those who patronize them are the same fellows they ought to have been arresting. And so these are issues. Once the governor becomes interested and is on the side of people, like the governor of Borno State is, you saw him, he took his side against the military. When the military created checkpoints that created problems for people in Bama Road the other time, he went there. He was not bothered that a bullet from there could fell him. They could connect. He stood by the people, and all of those things were whatever. It is for state governors to appreciate the fact that people queued. They had options. They choose you. And so your first duty morally, forget about the issue of law, is to these persons. They are your first trophy. They are your victory. They are your glory. And so you must secure them. Every day, there is somebody who couldn't sleep well and you are a governor, you slept well. You are declared missing in the camp of people who are sane in the camp of the spiritual. So once they take this to heart, they go, I want them to behave like Abiola had behaved. Abiola in an interview said, people have described me as the richest man in Africa. He said, don't evaluate me on the basis of the niggardliness of others. Because who has counted the money of everybody to know that this money is more than we say so? He said, but I want to be evaluated the way the BBC had seen me. They didn't describe me as the richest African, but said the African who gives the most. Because it is only by giving. What the people are asking the governor now is not come and cook food, or it's only by giving us security, what enables us to go to the farm, that makes you the man.
All right, thank you so much. Balam, you want to say something?
Yes. I think I will need to, I will differ a bit from you. The governor does not have the power to even secure the state. That is the irony of it all. The primary responsibility of governor, that is why we are talking about state policing. The governor should be given the power to protect his own state. But again, power is not by security vote. No, it's not by security vote. The IG, the commissioner of police does not answer to the governor. The governor can tell him, come to governor. IG will tell him, come to Abuja, and he will go to Abuja. It's just chief security on paper. He's chief security officer on the pages of newspaper, not on ground. We need to change that.
It is fraud.
We need to change that.
The National Assembly should do that. It becomes fraud for me to collect money. If I work in a place and I collect money to travel that I know I don't have powers to travel, it's fraud. All right. When you collect security money, you say you have no power over security, it's fraud.
Okay. It's not. Thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen, our time is up. Our time is up. Maybe that would be a talk for another day. You know, you being the governor, having control over the police and the rest of that. But security has been given. If you can't provide security, what?
If you have money and you don't have food to buy, you're as good as not having money. All right. So if you give him money and he doesn't have authority over the people he's supposed to have authority over, he's as good as they don't.
Thank you, Alhaji. Thank you so much. Well, you've heard them. Whatever they say here, or you heard them say, the first discussion, second discussion segment, discussion segment rather, is our opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. But the big question now is, with the security situation in the country, are we in trouble? It's a question. And if we are, what should be done to really combat this? Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to today's wonderful analysis from both of you. I appreciate both of you. Mind you, if you see something, say something, do something. I believe that in time we will get out of this quagmire. Bye for now.